Go, go. Come on.
I say?
Maybe, but I've got good reason.
I hold Ciri dear too. You know this damn well. But the Mask of Orberus is no trifle. Have you any idea what could happen if it is used? Any idea of the consequences?
No, but neither do you. So stop panicking.
Place of power. Should draw from it. can hear you two clear on the other side of the island.
Good! May all Skellige know Yennefer of Vengerberg is a common thief!
Control yourself, Druid. I haven't stolen anything. I've merely borrowed something and fully intend to return it.
Ha! The generosity. Just one small problem. Once used, the mask is rendered completely worthless. Not to mention the risk you'll bury us alive, and all the Isles with us!
Barry, what are you talking about?
She's not told you? Might have expected as much. The myth is that Urberus created the mask when the envious seas swallowed his beloved. Unable to bear the prospect that he would never again see his betrothed, Urberus made the mask, which would allow him to peer into the past. He knew, however, that he could only use it once. So he waited. Waited until his longing grew so strong that it became unbearable. When the sea learnt of the mask, it was quick to respond. It made known its threat that whosoever used the mask would bring the sea's wrath down on them. For in vengeance, the sea would rise and flood all the lands and drown the living.
Where'd you get this mask?
Sailors from Clan Dimon pulled it from the sea, near the Njord Trench.
Yeah, but how can you be sure this is Urberos's mask?
Its appearance is exactly as described in the myths.
You believe the myths?
Only ignorant fools belittle their significance. Besides, it's not the myths that are on trial here. It's the thief.
Theft or no theft, Kroch gave us free rein.
First off, this might indeed be his isle. But we, the Druids, watch that no alien magic takes hold here. Secondly, after the cataclysm occurred, Kroch turned to us for help and trusted this site to our care. Third! What? What was that? No. Yennefer's used the mask. Follow me! We must neutralize the mask! Mute its power! Glory ye tear shall be sham. Eine Klavechen virti adem. Eine Klavechen virti
Geralt, watch out!
Great. How you like that silver? What was that?
Unicorns.
Damn it, Yen. I saw the foglets. I meant how'd they get here?
The power of the mask summoned them.
Ermion says the mask might cause a natural disaster.
Fortunate he's here, then. He can jump right in, try to tame it.
Realize he won't let this pass.
Oh, I'll survive, somehow.
What now?
The mask reveals the past, but only in certain places. Places where past events left a strong magical imprint. Take it.
Want me to wear it?
Yes. I'll cast a spell that will let me see through your eyes.
Gonna read my mind again?
You object?
You do it whenever you want anyway.
No harm in it then, is there? Let's go. Already found the first spot. This is the spot. Put on the mask.
Any instructions?
You've seen everything. And don't stray far. Telepathy is limited in range.
What's that? A portal?
2 people emerged from it.
The woman was Ciri.
How can you know?
The way she moved. Like a witcher. Seems they went that way.
Come, let's find the next spot. I learned this at Gwent. Don the mask. Watch out!
What was that?
A magic explosion of some sort. So powerful that even the echo was dangerous. I wager it destroyed the forest.
But Ciri and her companion weren't harmed. I saw them escape.
Let's see where to.
Place is creepy. I don't like it.
Nor do I.
Anyone here when this happened had a slim chance of surviving.
I know what you're thinking, but don't worry. Ciri can take care of herself. Well, ready? Use the mask.
Someone chased Ciri. See that? Might have wounded her.
She escaped through another portal.
Know where it led?
Magic residue trail leads to Velen.
Any chance you can figure out where Ciri's companion fled to? His portal's gotta be nearby.
I'll try to find it. Come. Don the mask.
Nice fight.
One repelled the other with powerful magic, then fled through a portal.
A mage?
Most likely. It's Ciri's companion and the one who wounded her.
How do you know?
I don't. Making an educated guess. They both appeared in the previous visions.
Ciri's got a powerful ally. The mage who was with Ciri fled too. Know where?
His trace path leads to Velen as well. But the target coordinates of his portal differ from those of Ciri's. The explosion must have disrupted his teleportation.
Ran into Kira Metz in Velen. Coincidence maybe, but she claimed a mage came to her looking for Ciri. Be surprised if it wasn't the same one.
Whoever he is, he grows more interesting by the minute.
Maybe something left of the one who got hit by the spell.
It's clearing up,
Ermion must be getting a handle on the weather.
which means he'll be free to attack us again.
Are you pleased with yourselves? Look at what you've brought down on us. We'll see what Krach has to say about this.
Sure as hell shouldn't be angry. He agreed to help us.
When he learns what's happened here,
Stop panicking! Here's your mask.
it is worthless. It's an unwieldy ashtray at best. I hope you've learned something useful at least.
Very.
I'm talking to Geralt. You I'll deal with later. So,
We think a powerful curse was cast here.
plausible. Considering what happened to the wood, do you know upon whom?
Not yet, but we know Ciri was here. She stepped out of a portal. A mage was with her. Someone chased them. They fought. Ciri was wounded but managed to escape.
Where to?
Velen, probably. The mage opened a portal for her, then he fought her attacker.
Yes? Is that it?
Got a feeling we found something interesting. Just need to examine one more thing.
He went flying in that direction.
Something's pinned under that tree. Can you...
I can.
Armor's clean. No blood, no sword nicks. Ciri's friend must have... what do you call it?
Vaporized him.
Exquisite. The armor. Though the workmanship's unfamiliar. Can't even tell where it's from.
Probably because it belonged to a rider of the Wild Hunt.
What? So it's true? The Wild Hunt? I feared as much. First here, then on Hindersfjall. What did they want?
They're looking for Ciri.
But why?
Elder blood flows in Ciri's veins.
'Tis true, she can trace her lineage clear back to Lara Duran, which is why the women in her family have always had extraordinary abilities. But could that truly be so important?
Ciri's exceptional. She travels between places here and other worlds. Space is no obstacle for her.
Huh?
Which is why the Wild Hunt wants to capture her. Speaking of the hunt, mentioned it appeared on Hindersfjall.
Well, it happened at least a fortnight after the cataclysm struck here on Ardskellig. The raids raided Lofoten at dusk in a blizzard. Itself a strange occurrence for that time of year. The islanders said the wraiths. They barged into their huts, killed anyone who resisted, then galloped inland, laughing fiendishly.
Anyone survive?
A dozen or so women and an old man.
Next stop, Hindersfjall.
I'll meet you on the beach near Lofoten.
See you there.
Good luck to you. Inform me once you've learned anything new.
Can we talk? You were made a Hierophant. Congratulations.
I thank you. The Skellige Circle chose me years ago, about the time when the old disputes between the clans were reigniting.
Job's been mainly politics then.
Aye, but I've not minded. Since time immemorial, the Druids have wandered betwixt the clans, keeping endless feuds in check. We care for equilibrium, the balance of all things, not just trout populations and streams. We're lucky the Jarls always valued us as advisors.
The war. Curious to know your opinion.
Well, I believe Emmia's chosen a poor time to wage it.
Hard to find any better as I see it, with the North now in disarray.
The North is weak, true. But I've the impression the Emperor is dealing with some domestic strife. Far too much to start a war. Radovid is a madman, but a cunning one. He's certain to take advantage.
Wouldn't happen to play Gwent, would you?
Certainly. I got my first deck. Back in Sintra. Proceeded to teach the game half of Skellige. Why do you ask? Looking to play?
Yeah, glad to play around.
Lovely. My congratulations. You've a good deck, but it could use a bit of supplementation. Here, take this card.
Thanks.
You've a knack for it. So much so you ought to challenge Krach. I gave him his deck, introduced him to the game. But the pupil has surpassed his master. There's also Gramist, a vile character, but undeniably talented.
Aye. The glory you attain shall never perish.
Magic. A place of power.
Move it! That's it, Roach.
Yennefer!
Hair is great, but you're no druid.
Good day.
Greetings, stranger.
Farewell.
Stale sizzling. Glistening. Ancient runes in the blade. Glistening.
Well, my dad's off fighting the black ones.
Well then, we fishing today or what?
Greetings, Yen.
Good thing you're here. The frostbite was starting to set in.
You should have dressed warmer.
Next you'll be pinning mittens to my coat. Can we go?
Yeah.
Quite a few years since I was last on Hindisfjall, but if I remember correctly, Lofoten should be this way. Raised huts and fresh graves. This must be it.
Gathering of some kind. We've come at a bad time.
There's no good time to talk about the Wild Hunt.
And they barely sprouted whiskers, yet in the ground they lie, and me living and unharmed. Perhaps 'twere written in the stars.
And what if Craven told the truth? What if he didn't abandon us, but was...
Stop! I won't speak of him.
He was our brother in blood. We sailed on the same longship, sat oar to oar, raided the black ones together.
But when they attacked, he fled.
Grass has grown.
Ritual of some kind. We'll have to wait.
We'll do no such thing. Dear sisters, pardon the interruption, but we've an important matter to discuss.
Can you not see we're commemorating the dead? So,
And we're looking for someone who's still alive. Please, this is urgent.
Then speak.
They say the Wild Hunt destroyed this village.
That is true, though few believe us. You don't either, I'm sure. Did you see riders on skeletal horses, wearing frost-covered armor?
Aye, that's how it was. They landed on our shores in a ship made of the claws of dead men, like in the ballads. Leif yelled to grab the children. Then they came, cut him across his face. He tried to whisper, only blood came out.
You were to ask about someone, not prod their wounds. That's enough.
What happened then?
Go on.
I ran out to get help, to get Leif. But so many bodies. Yole, Ingvar, little Necky.
Which way did the riders go?
Towards the sea, through the ravine, on horses made of bones. Bones and ice and...
Enough! Get to the point. Now.
We're looking for a young woman, name of Ciri. Ashen hair, green eyes.
I'm sorry. She is not here.
unless she lies in a grave. That is, I do not recall one by that name. But I've buried so many, I may have forgotten.
This Ciri, has she a scar here on her cheek?
Yes. Yes, what happened to her?
Don't know. Saw her but for a moment, right before it all. She was in the stables with Craven. 1,000 curses upon him.
Remember anything else? Anything at all?
Only that she seemed tired. Very tired. And And her hair was wet.
Great. So we know she bathed. Progress.
I'm sorry, Scar.
Craven!
My apologies. Craven. Craven could have told you more.
This Craven you mention, does he have a name?
He did. Until the elders struck him from the saga of ancestors.
It's as if he has ceased to exist. The lore forbids anyone from touching him, speaking to him, even uttering his name.
What did he do to deserve that?
He fled from the wild hunt. He alone.
We need to talk to him, even if it's not in keeping with your customs.
You've come too late. He went to the garden to fight Morkvag.
A coward who willingly seeks battle? Am I the only one who sees the contradiction?
That's why he did it. Craven knew he would prove the elders wrong only if he killed Morkvag.
And thus regain his honor and his name.
Trial by ordeal. Very Skelligan.
I do not mock your laws. Please also respect ours.
Morkvag. What's that?
Who, you mean?
The vilest man ever to inhabit Skellige. Nothing was ever sacred to him. He attacked his own clan's lands, took gold from Nilfgaard, killed children, pregnant women.
Know the type.
They said he feared only one thing, the wrath of the gods. Morkvag sought to prove how wrong they were, so he sailed to Hindisfjall to ransack the goddess's garden. This was over a decade ago.
Archpriestess Ulva stood in his way. He thrust a blade between her ribs and cast her down in the mud. As her lifeblood left her, she cursed him, and Morkvag transformed into a beast.
A curse? A monster? You've got some work to do.
I can get rid of Morkvag. Don't know what he's turned into, but a silver sword should do the trick.
It's not that simple. There have been those who have bested Morkvag, yet he always returns.
So, it's a complex curse. Meaning I need more information.
I understand, but I've told you all I know.
Speak with Torridar's son, Einar. He was in the garden when Morkvag and his men attacked. He saw what happened. Of all the pilgrims there at the time, he alone escaped with his life. He settled in Larvik. You'll find him there at the landing, provided he's not out to sea when you arrive.
Where is this holy garden?
Not far from here. North. We cultivated healing herbs there once.
And now?
Now we walk only as far as the tree the goddess planted. We place our offerings and make our pleas before it.
Those who venture below remain in the garden forever.
Thanks for your help.
I understand you intend to enter the garden. I dislike it when foreigners enter the sacred grounds, but so be it.
Custom demands pilgrims make an offering of their own blood before the tree. Craven surely did so. Unless he lacked not only courage, but respect for Freya as well.
You needn't worry about us. Geralt and I always give the gods the respect they are due.
Modern Freya is patient, but she brooks no insult.
Yes?
Worried this trail might have gone cold.
Even if Craven's dead, we'll manage.
How exactly?
You'll see when the time comes.
You could stand to be nicer sometimes.
I suppose. But then I wouldn't be the woman you fell in love with, would I? My. That must be Morkvag. Quite the appetite.
Might even call it Wolven. Faster.
Young un crit. There's a gun.
I know you're Watch it!
Kneel before the goddess. Pay her homage.
Oh!
Respect, Witcher.
Friends we show heart.
You're ye dimwit! Drop one more and I'll keelhaul you!
Got a minute?
Preparing my boat, can't you see? Nilfgaardian dogs were to hunt us some.
Got bigger game in mind. Morkvag.
Ah, so them's your apples. All right, ask away. In praise of Freya.
You were there when Morkvag raided the garden. Heard you alone survived.
True. I managed to flee. Great Mother was looking out for me that day.
But she didn't give a lick about the priestesses.
Apparently. Morkvag had them bound, then slit their throats like horses for the sacrifice. And he laughed. Understand? He laughed. But Archpriestess Ulver cursed him with her dying breath. You are beastly now, remain so forevermore. Ah, saintly woman.
Didn't help the priestesses. Why not?
How could I? Alone against a dozen raiders that... Why are you staring?
Just wondering. You people, obsessed with honor, courage, and so on. But you just cut and run? Strange.
I ain't proud of it. Since that day, I've been seeking a worthy death at sea. Seems the goddess, she's not seen fit to summon me. Yet.
What happened to Morkvag?
Hard to believe, but fur rose through his skin, and his mug stretched forth into a muzzle, like a dog's or a wolf's. He howled, long and grieving, then lunged at his men. They tried to run, but he was fast as lightning. As he killed them, clamped his jaws round their throats, they turned to ash, just like that. Ash that seeped from twixt his fangs.
Not good. Curse must be complex, multi-leveled.
Such is the Great Mother's power.
Thanks for your help.
Goddess, guide your sword.
Did you sever his head? Head of a giant on your mantle. Now that's a decoration. You drink last night too?
Something I've always wondered. What are you, Witcher?
A bite. Just one morsel. One piece. A crumb. Food. Food. Shite. Not again. Not again!
He doesn't seem happy to see us.
Wait till he gets a closer look at me.
So, where shall we start?
Let's go to that tree the sisters mentioned.
Plan to bleed yourself for the goddess?
Not necessarily, but Craven did. We just might pick up his scent. Craven was here. Look, the impression. Kneeled down on one knee and cut himself to make the offering. Bloodstains, see them?
No. I may be inhumanly beautiful, but I don't have superhuman senses. Not like you.
Which is why you should stay up here. No offense, but in that undergrowth and mud, you'd be like a...
Ball and chain?
Planned to say it gentler, but yeah, that's basically what I had in mind.
Fine. We'll do as you say. If the need arises, I can cast spells from up here.
Fine. See you later then.
Don't get hurt. Remember, I need you if I'm to find Ciri. Oh, come. I was just teasing. Fool. I need you. Period. Better?
Better.
Well, what is it?
What do you know about this garden?
Let me think. That it's dreadfully overgrown?
Had its history in mind.
They say Freya herself planted it. When the world was young, the goddess strode across Skellige, sowing seeds among the rocks. But Urboros the snake bit a hole in her basket. All her seeds poured from it and landed here. Thus, this garden is bounteous, while the rest of Skellige is barren.
You believe that?
Is that a serious question? Of course not. Favorable microclimate for plant life. End of story.
To transform into a werewolf. It's a dog's life, huh?
Well, there's not a youth out there who doesn't have a wolf in his belly.
Then the curse confined him to this garden? Couldn't really cut his wolf loose.
No question he was top dog here.
Just wolfing things down, or not.
Geralt. That's enough.
Fine. Still had a few good ones at the tip of my tongue.
I'm sure you did. We'll say you won.
All right, going back down.
Be careful.
choice. Morkvag doesn't give up easily. Craven's blood. Monster tracks. Running. Chasing something. No bite marks. Morkvag doesn't eat his victims. Strange.
Is it Craven?
No, this one's been here a while.
What? I can't hear you. If you want to chat, come closer.
Her senses are really dulled.
Well, what is it?
I found a corpse. Not Craven's, though.
Uh-huh. And you thought I'd find this interesting because...
Because no bite marks on it. Doesn't seem strange to you?
Zerrikanian cuisine, Dandelion's fame, and shoes with curly toes seem strange to me, yet I don't discuss them with you.
Reading between the lines here. Think I'm wasting your time?
I mean merely that we should focus on what's most important at the moment.
All right.
Be careful.
Another corpse. No bite marks here either. Lots of prints, old and new. His lair must be nearby. Can't cross that. Gotta go down, provided I can open the sluice. Mechanism looks pretty standard. One lever to choose the sluice gate, the other to work it.
Key? Raymond? Where's the key? All I have in the chapter house. The crate. But the key? Where's the key? Why so silent, Raymond? You thief, you rogue, you whoreson, you worthless bastard! I will find the key without you. Idiot. Stupid prick!
Let's dance.
You cannot hide your stench. Refreshing.
Ideal friend. Patient, doesn't mouth off.